You know, I swear, whenever I want to record a podcast, that's when the phone on my laptop decides to go absolutely nuts, and that's really annoying. I don't know if this will be picked up by the microphone, but either way, we're just gonna have to roll with it. So, hello and welcome back to the Lion's Den. I'm your host, Matt, as always, and I think I might have the recording settings wrong on my microphone. Nope, I think I'm just talking louder. Anyway, let's get into it. So this is actually, we're going back in time, baby. So we're talking about what happens in the week, because I actually have some things to talk about. So here we go. I mentioned about the fact that I was going to go see a movie by myself, and whoo, that was fun. First off, The Bad Guys. Really fun film. I really enjoyed it. And yes, I am a 5-year-old if you're asking that question. So I would recommend it. I think it's fun, quirky, interesting plot, not overly crazily unique or super interesting, but it's fun and it's quirky, and that's me to a T. So the animation is also absolutely gorgeous. I love this mix of 3D modeled and rendered and animated stuff mixed in with like 2D drawn stuff or just flat 2D plane style effects, I think is the best way to put it. It just looks really nice, and the sort of, I'm really bad at explaining animation because I know absolutely nothing about it, but just the way they model and the way they animate some characters in certain sequences is just really lovely. You really do get a sense of like weight and speed, especially because there's car chases and things like that. You get a sense of the character having like an actual mass and physical dimension. It's really nice. And there's a lot of little touches that just kind of bring it alive. And I love the little details that make absolutely no sense in terms of the fact that it's a children's film, but I really appreciate it. Like there's literally, I think maybe 1 second or half a second scene where you watch the main character, Mr. Wolf, do a, what's it called? Heel toe downshift or upshift, whichever way he's going. And the like car nerd in me loves that they added that in. It's completely unnecessary. Most people wouldn't understand what the hell it's doing outside of, oh look, he's putting his foot on the accelerator. But I appreciated the fact that it was done and they added that detail. So yeah, good film. I enjoyed it. I would recommend. I think most people would enjoy it. The experience of going to the cinema by myself, well, that was interesting. I, like the paranoid type of person, got there half an hour before the film was supposed to start, because you know they do the whole ads and whatnot at the beginning, and it was a completely empty theatre. By the time the film started, it was not an empty theatre, which I was not prepared for. You know, after we'd come out of the whole COVID and distancing and lockdown, to then sit in a theatre with people next door to me, a little bit like, And also the fact that I was on my own, whereas everyone else was with someone. Not that I minded too much, I just kind of kept to myself and tried not to worry too much. And I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the experience of just being on my own, not having to worry about other people outside of how I come off to the people around me. My only like slight annoyance was the fact that children are children, which you can't get around. I mean, some of them were maybe like 5 or 6 years old, and when you're that age, you don't have the patience to sit down for 100 minutes in a row. That's all I'm saying. But you know, it's fine. It was like a minor thing in amongst what was a pretty nice experience. And you know, I was obviously with the lockdown and everything, I'd watched a fair few films with one my family and two on my own, just in our own home, because you know we have a decent TV set, and especially myself, I have a nice TV in my room, so I can like close the curtains, make it dark, put some headphones on, connect them to my TV, and have a pseudo cinema experience, right? Oh no, it's so different. It's so different, and I didn't realize how wildly different it is. Not only is the screen bigger, the audio is what sells it for me, honestly. I think that the way they create a really immersive surround sound is infinitely better than anything I'm able to achieve with my current equipment at home, which is well worth the price of admission, well worth having to deal with the annoying children around me, but that's my own fault for it being a children's film. Yeah, so if you're on the fence about going back to the cinema because, you know, you've been doing it at home, I would highly recommend. I can imagine, you know, a musical or a film that has a lot of musical elements to it. Ooh, that would be amazing, because it would probably sound phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, I think you can get it at home if you have equipment that supports a good surround sound setup, but yeah, like, for me, the jump between like a TV at home to a giant cinema screen is not as big as the jump from the audio. And even with that said, I think it is 100% worth it. I didn't buy anything there though, because I thought that would be stupid. The funny thing is, when I booked my tickets, it said, "Hi, do you want to now book food?" And I thought, oh, that's interesting. How much is food? A lot. That's it. There's just a lot of very expensive food. So I didn't bother because I said the time that I'm going, I'll finish the movie, get out. It'd be like late lunchtime, so I'll just go and buy some lunch somewhere else. So yeah, good fun. Would highly recommend. If I ever get a day off again, or if I just book some time off, I might go see something else because I quite enjoyed it. Yeah. Also, it's just nice to get out of the house by myself and not have to worry. Not have to worry about other people. You know, you're just in your own world, your own lane, doing your own thing. Lovely. Next thing, I've been looking at cars for I don't know how long now. Because essentially, now that I have a full-time job, and obviously I'm currently looking at work and whatnot, I need a reliable car to get me from A to B. So my current car works. It's decided to start having several problems that come and go as frequently as my patience for my car does. That was a very weird sentence. I'm so sorry. But yeah, basically I'm looking for a new car. I've been looking for a new car for a while, and I've had some fun experiences test driving cars. I think I talked about that. But the thing for me is I'm an idiot. Plain and simple, I'm an idiot. So for context, if you don't drive, or if you don't know about driving positions, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, if you don't know much about driving, there are multiple ways to maneuver the driver's seat into a comfortable position. Especially in the UK or any country that uses manual cars, you need to have the seat in the correct position, one, to operate the clutch, but two, so that you have as best visibility as possible. In my car, this is achieved by going forwards and backwards and tilting the seat backwards and forwards like reclining. In other cars, more modern cars, apparently the seat trays physically can go up and down as if you were taller or shorter. My car doesn't do that, so it's not something I was ever really used to doing. And when I've been getting in other cars, the seat pan, or whatever you want to call it, has basically been cranked to the top. So like when I got in the first car I test drove, I was bewildered because I just could not see out of the front window. Now, I'm not a tall person by any stretch of the imagination. I'm literally average height. But apparently that's taller than most of the people that have been test driving cars, because every car I get into now, I realise that the seat has been cranked to the top, to the maximum, which is not ideal for me. So I've now figured out that I can just drop the seat pan down and gain an infinite more amount of visibility out of the front window. Because I'd literally written off buying a Vauxhall Corsa because I thought I couldn't see out of the front window, and I was sat there thinking that's a really bad idea of buying a car that you can't see out of. Yeah, I went, found another Corsa elsewhere, figured out, oh, here's a lever, whatever you want to call it, that I can pump down, and it lowers me, and now I can see out the front window. So that's great. So to anybody else who's having this same issue, try lowering the seat. Try doing that. It helps. Oh god, it's fun being an adult because there's so many little things in the world that you just don't know until you run into it like that. Because there's only so much that people can tell you. You know when there's only so many things that people can tell you when you start something new, and you go to them, yo, what should I know? What kind of experience things do you know? They're not going to be able to just verbatim give you a list of things that you should know at that point because they're helpful. It's just because they don't know what to tell you at that point. They don't know what they know that you won't know intuitively. So, yeah, it's kind of trial and error, I think, as an adult. So, would highly recommend just do stuff. But ask people before you do stuff in case it's a stupid idea, but you don't know that's a stupid idea. Am I making sense? Probably not. But anyway, hopefully we've got enough now. I would like to make a small announcement. I've been doing some research, and apparently there is a potential method for me to get this podcast on Spotify. Oh my god, I peeked the microphone. How am I doing that? But yeah, apparently there's a way I can get my podcast on Spotify. So I'm going to be looking into that, making sure that I understand all of the legal jargon and where my rights are, where their rights are, and how it all functions. But hopefully I might be dual running this podcast both on YouTube and Spotify for a little while until the transition works. So look out for that. Whoa, what happened to my voice? Look out for that. I'll update you as soon as I know, basically. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed listening, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.